Hey, Real Estate Hustlers, I am Rick Robinson, and today on the Real Estate Hustle, we are going to be talking with market domination expert, Mr. Travis Greene, who also happens to be my business partner. We're talking all about how he got started in real estate, some of the roadblocks he faced, how he was able to overcome them, and how you too can learn from his example and completely dominate your market. That's what we're talking about today, guys.
Speechless.
Speechless. Stay tuned. Here we go.
This is the Real Estate Hustle, a podcast about everything to grow and improve your real estate career. Broadcasting on Facebook Live. Here are your hosts, Rick Robinson and Travis Greene.
What's up, Real Estate Hustlers? Welcome to episode 28 of the Real Estate Hustle. If you guys are watching on, if you're listening on the podcast app, Google Play, Stitcher, any of those places that you listen to podcasts, please make sure to hit subscribe, hit the like button, hit whatever button is there to make us look better. Please make sure to do that, guys. And also, if you're watching on YouTube, just subscribe to our channel. And if you're watching live on Facebook with us, welcome. Please make sure to give your input, your thoughts. Comment away, guys. We will respond to your live comments. And we are broadcasting live in sunny Rexburg, Idaho. We don't get to say that very often.
No, it's a beautiful day.
Outside. It's gorgeous
outside. It's a great
outside.
day. Yeah, we're excited. Spring's finally upon us. We think for 5 minutes. We'll see.
Yeah, until tomorrow comes.
Yeah.
So, anyway, guys, big shout out to our listeners in Huntsville, Alabama. I actually used to know some people from Huntsville.
I've never been there. Don't know anything about it. But
it
that
looks
is
pretty.
So awesome.
Yeah.
Very great place.
At least there's one pretty part of it that we know of because there's a picture.
It's beautiful. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I'm standing here next to Travis. How's Travis today?
We're good. We're good. I'm excited to see what questions you throw at me.
Yeah.
So it's good. We spring's upon us. The markets are good. There's a lot of good things happening out there, and I think
interest rates are on the rise.
Interest rates are on the rise. I don't think that's the end of the world, but it does create a little urgency.
Yeah.
We can talk about that.
Cool. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, guys, Travis Greene is a very well-known expert within the real estate, within our area, for pretty much absolute market domination. Travis has consistently led the market in our area pretty much since you started real estate, really, for all these different years. And so he has graciously let me, actually he didn't even agree to this. I just said, hey, here's what we're doing today. I just really want to interview Travis so you guys can get to know him on a little bit deeper level, hear how he's been able to overcome so many things and so many obstacles. And because really getting into real estate, it's easy to go get your license, but to become successful in real estate, that's a whole other ballgame. We've got some of our agents just kind of, brand new agents just kind of struggling right now and just learning the ups and the downs of real estate. And, it's never a high five until you're at the closing table.
It's
and
not
the loan
easy.
funds.
It's not easy. It's a bumpy road sometimes.
It is a bumpy road.
Yeah.
And we know that there's a lot of people out there right now that are either experiencing that same thing. Maybe you guys are new agents. Maybe you're looking into getting into real estate. And so we just really want to help you guys overcome these roadblocks. Travis has a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge from the many, many years that he's been in real estate. Are you 17 years now?
Yeah, I think 17.
Okay, yeah. So he started real estate when I was born. I'm just kidding.
Very cool.
Anyway, no, I think we're actually 14 years apart is what we figured out. So,
there you go.
But anyway, so we're going to first start talking about Travis getting into real estate. It's actually kind of a funny story. And then we're going to go on to some other questions, some advice questions that we want him to give you guys advice on. So, anyway, are you ready for all these questions?
I'm ready.
Okay, we're gonna hit Travis here with a bunch of questions.
Sounds good.
So first, tell us a little bit about yourself, your background. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Cotton Eye Joe.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff.
Perfect. Growing up in Phoenix, Arizona, I grew up in a family business. It was an interior design company that we did a lot of commercial, a lot of residential, different things like that. But through that experience, basically, I learned how to work. That was the number one thing. I learned how to work in the family business. And moved up here, went to college at what was called Rick's College in Idaho, and met my wife, who is from here. And we decided to make this area our home. Didn't know what we were doing, what the future held in store for us. We did not know. My wife's family owns a cabinet shop, also family owned and operated here in the Rexburg area. And I spent a little time there as a newlywed, just getting my feet underneath me. So just kind of starting with no plan. I mean, just newlywed and wondering what to do next. So growing up in Arizona, found my way to Idaho, went to school here. I got an associate's degree. I did go past that. I was ready to get to work, I think. And with my work ethic and habits and experience in the family business, it was just time to get to work. So we got ourselves situated with the family business of the cabinet shop. Realized that wasn't my future. That was just some place that we wanted to start. One thing led to the next, and I found myself selling insurance. I was an Allstate insurance guy, and got an insurance license that way, and didn't like that at all. It just wasn't in a small town. There's only so many people that can,
Right.
So,
and it was a much smaller town back the
then.
day.
It was, I mean, the college at the time was like 3,500 students as opposed to the nearly 30,000 now.
Right.
And so it was a lot smaller town, a lot harder to make a living. So things kind of evolved from there. I found myself selling television advertising. Making the jump from insurance to social media. I guess at that time would be called social media.
Right, the paper form of social media.
Paper form.
I guess
TV,
the TV form.
Yeah,
TV form of social media.
Yeah, we had the television. It was the CBS affiliate, Channel 3. And I went around selling television advertising to people. So what happened, the progression of all of this, one step to the next, was that when I was trying to sell television advertising to one of the local real estate companies, she wasn't interested at all in the television advertising, but she liked my approach. She liked how I was selling, the things I was doing, and called me one day and said, "Hey, you got a minute? I own a real estate company. You were in my office trying to sell me on television advertising. I need some help. What do you want to come talk to me?" And I said, "What's real estate?" I honestly said, "What's real estate?" I didn't even know. I happened to own a home at the time, but I kind of fumbled my way through that. I didn't know what was going on. I was just told where to be, what to do, and boom, I got a house. And so she brought me in and talked to me about her needs and what real estate was. I had no clue what to do. I was in a situation with young kids, one young kid, and newlywed within a couple years, and not quite sure what to do, where to go, how to get there. And I went from this sales position to that sales position to television advertising to now being asked to be part of a real estate company and do real estate sales. Yeah. I was brought on as a buyer's agent. I didn't list any homes for 8.5 years. I was brought on as a dedicated buyer's agent with this other company, and the rest was kind of history.
Interesting. It's probably not the path most people take into real estate.
It isn't, and it would be really cool for me to say, since I was a child, I wanted to do
Dreamed of it.
Dreamed of it. I wanted to do this and that, and I watched all these shows about things and blah, blah, blah. I totally fell into this.
Just stumbled into it.
I was asked by somebody else to, hey, come help me. I had no idea what real estate was. I had no plans for it. It was truly something out of my hands that made that happen.
Yeah. So were you an overnight success, or did you have to really, really work for it?
Oh, no. Everything had to be worked for. I came into an existing established brokerage, yes, okay? But I had to develop the clientele. I still had to take care of people. Even though some of the people I was working with were repeat customers of that brokerage, I still had to close them. I still had to take care of them, follow up with them, do all those things, the late nights, the long days, the Saturdays, and all that. So no, there was no overnight success. In fact, as time went on, I realized more and more and more of the people I was selling homes to were not her old client base. It was new people. Right. So yes, I came into an existing situation, but I'll tell you, 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night, Saturdays for years, stress, it absolutely was not an overnight success. Yeah. But I learned a ton quickly, and that was part of my success, is really curbing that learning curve as quickly as I could and getting up on my feet as quickly as possible.
Right. So what year did you get into real estate?
2002.
2002. Okay.
Yeah.
So 2002, obviously, real estate was a lot different than it is today, and the roadblocks, barriers to entry, are going to be way different. Yeah. So what were some of your biggest roadblocks getting into real estate back in 2002?
In 2002, we had just had an announcement of the local college going from a 2-year university to a 4-year university. Literally, it was just like that same year.
Wow.
And so we went from pretty tranquil, low-key, small-town real estate to, holy smokes, the roof just went off.
Right.
And everyone's coming in from all over the place. They're buying homes. They're converting into basement apartments and all this stuff. So the transition was pretty quick for me, and it happened pretty fast. The barriers to entry, I was invited to come do real estate with this brokerage, and something that I was obviously not informed about, but going through the classes, that was the hard part for me.
Right.
The biggest barrier to entry for me was the classes.
These classes are miserable.
They are not fun, especially for someone like me.
They do nothing to make those classes enjoyable, in my opinion.
No, they don't.
So.
And that truly was my biggest barrier to entry. Being able to roll off on the fly and work through things came fairly natural for me.
Right. Just your personality
my
type.
personality type was I was able to look into things and figure things out pretty quick that way. Really, real estate is 90% personality matching. It's
so true.
It's being that chameleon and being able to roll with this personality type versus that personality type and keep your cool during it.
Which is often a challenge.
That is a challenge because there's so many different personality types that I work well with, and there are others that I just want to push out of the car at 60 miles an hour. I'm sorry, it just happens, and I think a lot of people are the same way. So the barrier to entry for me were the classes. Once we got past the classes, we started showing homes, start working with people. The rest of it kind of came fairly natural for me. There's a lot of learning to do, but it still came pretty well.
Yeah. Interesting. So now still thinking in terms of 2002.
Okay.
So this first segment, guys, is just kind of learning about Travis, his story in real estate. Then we're going to get into what advice he has for us. So 2002, what tools were available to real estate agents that really helped you back in 2002, or really were there any? They hadn't made the Realtor logo a cube yet.
They haven't made it a cube yet, and nobody had $250,000 to make it that way. So, so back then, in 2002, the coolest medium for advertising, do you know those old Kodak cameras that you hit the button and the little paper comes out?
Like the Polaroids?
The Polaroids.
Yeah.
You pull it out and look at it, that was it.
Woo,
yeah.
Boy.
You had that and newspaper advertising. That was about it. Internet wasn't there. Facebook, what? I mean, that wasn't there.
Right.
So, yeah, a lot of it was strictly photographs on a newspaper and your yard sign.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think it's changed a little bit, guys.
A whole
What
bunch.
do you think?
A whole bunch. So, very, very limited in terms of advertising mediums. Signs in the yard, newspaper, your magazines, your basic tangible items that way for advertising. That's really about all we had. Social media wasn't a thing.
Any early mentors that you had?
Well, of course, my broker, her name was Judy, and she is a sweet, sweet lady.
Fantastic lady.
Yeah, very, very good. I love her to death. Spent 8.5 years working with her as a buyer's agent and learned a lot from her. She got me started. I remember the first couple of homes that I showed homes to. She was there to kind of critique me, to be the fly on the wall and listen in. And I remember her doing that. And I would be showing this home. I'd kind of send the people off down the hallway to look at the bedrooms. I'd go back to the living room where she was and said, "How am I doing? How am I doing?" She's like, "Good." But
that's awesome.
But ask him this. But maybe ask him that. I'm like, okay, I'll do it. So she was kind of gauging and listening in as a fly on the wall. And so she gave me some good pointers up front, but after about 3 or 4 of those, it was time for me to fly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's cool because I honestly don't think there's a lot of brokers out there that would do what Judy did for you.
No,
and really just take you under her wing and hold your hand through the first few times.
Yeah, it was great. It was very helpful, no doubt. Yeah.
What was your first major breakthrough in real estate? Would you say?
Oh, the first major breakthrough in real estate was probably the confidence to be able to go to a home and show it without the fear of rejection. Just knowing, hey, this isn't my home. If you like it, tell me. If you don't, tell me. It's okay. I'm not going to be offended. So once I got through that barrier of, oh man, what if they don't like this home? What if they don't like that home? And I had well, it doesn't matter to me if they don't like this home. That was one of the greatest barriers that I got through quickly, because once you got through that fear, you could talk more on their level. You didn't have to worry about walking on eggshells. You were more able to just talk openly and say, hey guys, does this work? Well, this may not work, but that might. What if we change this or change that? All of a sudden, I was with them, buying the home almost with them, versus wondering or being fearful if they're going to care about it or not. And there were homes that we walked into within a minute, like, nah, this ain't it. I said, great, let's go. Yeah. No sweat. So I think one of the breakthroughs for me was just getting over the fear of the people I was working with.
Getting over the fear of fear. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were at that office for what, 6 years?
8.5.
Oh, 8.5 years.
Yep.
Way off.
8.5 years.
8.5 years. Is there one particular story or one event or something that kind of sums up your first 8 years in real estate? Just kind of the experience you had in those first 8.
Wow, that's a great question. I would say there was a time on a Saturday. No, it was a Friday anyway. It's Friday. And someone came into the front door saying, I need some help. I'm looking to buy a home. I said, great, we can do that for you. She says, I was just around the corner at another office. There weren't any agents in that office at the time. So the secretary said, there's another real estate company right up around the corner. If you want to go talk to them, they can help you, which was my office. And so I gladly said, you bet, sit down, let's talk. And I sold him a home.
Wow.
So I think one of that sums it up for me was my ability to say, you bet. Someone else couldn't handle it. They sent them over to us, which was dumb, but they did. And
Didn't collect a referral fee, huh?
Nothing.
Wow.
The secretary just said, well, there's none of our agents here, but there's another real estate company just around the corner if you want to go talk to them. And so that person came over and I sold them a home. So I think what sums it up for me is the ability to just be comfortable with myself, confident in my ability to deliver, being willing to take someone else's mistake and capitalize on it and make that client feel good about it.
Yeah.
It was great.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I love it.
It was great.
And Travis is, he's still very, very good at that. He never gives up on anybody. If somebody says, I don't think I'm ready to buy or something, he doesn't just say, okay, all right, good, nice knowing you. He'll keep working with them, show them different options, show them different financing options, show them different homes, show them different price range, whatever it takes. Because if somebody shows any interest in finding a home, then he's going to do everything in his power to make it happen.
I can tell you for certain, there have been many times, by many I say, 10 or 12, where someone has walked into the office and said, I'm just kind of looking to see what's out there on the market. We're kind of curious, wondering what's for sale, this and that. And I end up selling them a home that day. I turned the looky-loo, the curiosity, into a purchase.
Into a sale.
That has happened many times. And what you were just saying about not giving up, I have chased people, literally I have chased them for 2 years before they bought. And they bought. Not everybody does, but 90% of the people that I get my hands on at least once will buy.
Yeah.
At some point or another, we lose very few.
Yeah, which is awesome. So how is real estate different now than it was back when you started?
Oh, they're so much different. Back then when it was just the Polaroid whatever Kodak camera thing and the newspaper articles and the sign in the yard, of course now we have the Facebook and all the social media and the Zillows and the Trulias and all this other stuff and the MLSs and all that, which we had MLS back then, but it was as not of a fan as I am of our MLS, it was even worse back then. So anyway,
I can't imagine ours any worse.
The quality of the pictures were taken with a really rough camera. Just everything has become better. Again, all the different websites, the social medias, the Facebooks, all of that, the quality of the camera, the photography, the videos, the drones. In fact,
when I walked past your computer, you had an old picture pulled up from the MLS of an old listing.
No.
Was that current?
That was current. That's my point. That picture, picture of that house that you looked at, that was a listing by today's agent that's on the market right now that looks like it was taken from 1972.
Oh my gosh.
No,
okay. All right.
That's a current listing.
Wow.
Yeah, terrible. So
Yikes
how have things changed? The videography, the photography, the quality, all that's changed, but boy, I'll tell you, the competition. Zillow is a big thorn in my side. It's not the best solution to the market right now.
Yeah.
We've talked about this. Zillow is a great platform, I understand, for sellers to put their home on the line for free, but then they're not experienced. They have no insurance, no knowledge, no experience. They got buyers walking through the door that they don't even know if they're qualified or not, if they're who knows who they are, where they came from, whatever. Yeah. It's not safe. It's not good. And we're putting the real estate market into the hands of inexperienced people. It's a crisis waiting to happen.
Oh, it's a huge crisis waiting to happen.
Yeah.
And I'm just curious, guys. I don't know if you guys track for sell by owner statistics in your local market, but we do. Right now, we're about 35% for sell by owner, which in my opinion is really high. We've been up to almost 50%. At one point in time in our local market. But just curious, what have your guys' markets look like as far as for sale by owner? Have you seen an increase as Zillow, Trulia, all these websites have come out where they can just do it for free? And I know there's been a lot of horror stories out there for sale by owners. Title companies hate them. Everybody hates for sale by owners.
It's true. The title companies really don't like them because they cannot answer questions.
No.
They can't talk about inspections.
They do, though.
Unfortunately.
They do.
Unfortunately, they can. Yeah. They do. They shouldn't.
They shouldn't.
But yeah, so there's a lot of things that are really not great in the real estate world as far as communication and keeping it in the right hands, the experienced hands, those who are insured, those who are accountable. Yeah. So there's a lot of changes that way. Social media is awesome. It's great. It's a tool. But when you throw real estate, one of the largest investments anyone will ever make, into the hands of inexperienced people on a website, it's tough, and I don't think it's a safe and good thing. No.
I agree.
No.
I totally agree.
No.
Interesting. Okay, so that gives you guys a little bit of background on where Travis has come from in real estate. We are going to now move on to the advice section. Zach, cue the music. I'm just kidding. We don't have any music for it. I just want to see what he's going to do. He acted, though. He got his hand on the mouse. And he's like, oh. All right, anyway. Okay, if you had to start everything over, let's say you're getting into real estate right now, like I'm sure a lot of the people watching are new real estate agents. So if you were starting in today's world of real estate with all the technology, all the other stuff that we have, what would you do differently than you did back in the day?
I would really focus on not stressing.
Okay.
Yeah, because when you stress and worry, you're going to be less effective. I would take the opportunity to embrace and learn where the effective locations and places are for people who are looking for homes and selling homes, which is Zillow, Facebook, all of that. I would start monitoring and watching that, start pulling leads, start making calls, call the for sale by owners, let's start talking to them. I would say the number one thing is start monitoring where those people are right now, and building that ability to build confidence in them as to who you are. So I guess there's a couple things. I would say, nail down your story. What makes you different? Who are you? Why should they work with you? Yeah. And then be diligent in chasing those leads. I would start there.
You know, it's interesting because so many companies now are all telling their stories because it helps customers connect with their brand. Yeah. And it's the exact same thing with real estate agents. We preached it so much, is tell your story, guys. People need to know where you came from and why you're in real estate and how you're going to make a difference. So
you're just another real estate agent asking for their money in their eyes.
Yeah.
But when you can tell your story and add that value and tell them why and who and what you are, it's going to go a lot further.
Yeah. What would you do more of?
Stress less.
Stress less. Okay.
So I would, what would I do more of in today's market? I would try to streamline and simplify. I would try to simplify my procedures and simplify where I'm looking for buyers and streamline and try to stay consistent. If you try to shotgun too much stuff at once, you're going to get lost. Yeah. You'll be...
And I think a lot of new agents do that. They don't know where to focus their efforts, so they just do everything.
Yeah. Back in when I started, when things were pretty simple, there weren't too many avenues for advertising, there weren't too many places that people were chasing. I would say in today's market, focus. If you're a Facebook person, be an awesome Facebook person. Yeah. If you're not, then whatever your thing is.
Twitter person.
Or for sale by owner, cold call person, whatever it is, but be awesome in that. So I would define who you are, tell your story, define what makes you different and better and trustworthy, and sell that.
What would you do less of?
Did I mention stress? Yeah.
Okay. You know, we can reuse the same answer as it applies.
And I keep hitting that because real estate is very stressful. But what would I do less of? There are people that you don't work well with. And I think in our idea of being a successful real estate agent, we want to try to help everybody. Yeah. And if we could say, all right, let's define what my ideal client is, what I would work the best with is, and start weeding out the others that don't fit that. Yeah. I think that would be a real time-saving event for you, and I think that would help you get to the finish line quicker than you would working against the grain with someone that you just don't gel well with. So define who you are, tell your story, define who the type of person is that you would like to work with the best, and you will probably get further faster.
What would you not do at all?
I would not do door hangers.
Okay.
I would not do newspaper.
Okay.
I would not rely on my neighbor as much as it used to be. I would do more with social media, with your idea of the perfect social media, whether, again, that's Twitter, Facebook, whatever. So I would not endeavor into areas that you are not comfortable with. Now, eventually we need to learn some of that, but focus on what you're really, really good at. Stay away from what you aren't. I would not tout yourself as the farm, ranch, commercial, residential guru.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah. I would not do that. A lot of people do that. When you drive by a brokerage office, you'll see commercial, residential, farm and ranch, this and that. Well, which are you? Are you good at all those or are you not? So I would really, really try to say, all right, I am great at commercial. I read the language. I live it. I sleep, drink it. Then be that person. Mm-hmm. But if you aren't a farm and ranch guy, don't try.
Yeah.
Don't try. You'll mess things up. So define where you want to be and focus on that.
If the real estate hustlers that are watching right now, if they want to succeed both short and long term, where should they be focusing their efforts right now?
Defining again your story.
Okay.
You need to define your story. You need to decide who you are, where you want to be, and how genuine you really are. People can read the genuine side of you as their agent. Are you just out there for the money? Or are you going to call them on a Saturday just to say hi? Mm-hmm. Are you going to send them a text on Christmas Eve just to say hi? Right. Are you going to say, hey guys, I just saw this new listing come up. It's a great listing. When, not if, you want to go see it, when can we go look at it?
Right.
You're going to be that proactive person that really engages and makes them feel like you genuinely care. Mm-hmm. And when at the closing table, when that time comes, and there's this $300 oops that didn't get accounted for, or whatever, you're going to take it.
Right.
You're not going to put it on the shoulder of the buyer.
Yep.
You're going to offer a warranty for their home. You're going to do these different things that make them feel like you've got their back.
What tools should agents be using today?
In today's world, there is one tool that I guarantee will grow their business, make them successful, and bring them closer to their goals and across the finish line faster than anything else, and that is the real estate hustle.
Yeah.
The real estate hustle is a documented, proven, tried, true, and tested system that will get you further, faster than anything else, period.
Amen, brother.
It is true.
Amen.
We've been through this. We get it. We understand it. We've stepped our toes. We've signed up for ridiculous classes and online courses and all this stuff. We've spent the money. We've been there. We've done it. We get the picture because we want to grow. We are not agents that want to just take what comes. We want to be proactive in making things happen. So we ourselves, Rick and Travis, are purchasing these online systems and things. We're reading these other guys' books. We're seeing what's out there, and we're going, this is junk.
It's garbage.
It's not.
So much of what's out there is garbage right now to train real estate agents.
It's just a lead for you to buy something.
Yeah.
If you want to truly grow your business, take it from some people, successful agents who have been there, done it, condensed it, and delivered it to you in a precise manner that will just get you from 0 to 60 in less than 3 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Guys, we're going to be having a live webinar coming up on that here very soon, actually. So we'll give you guys a link to sign up for that live webinar, and it'll be definitely worth it.
It's a must. It's a must.
We're going to be sharing some pretty awesome secrets in that webinar and going over some other stuff as well. So, boy, we're running short on time. So people have often made the comment to us. So in the last 2 years, as our real estate company has been alive, in fact, in the first 12 months, we became the number one two-man team in the MLS. We still are. This kind of brand new company. And we did it all pretty incognito. We didn't go make a big splash about it, but all of a sudden, we're showing up on the top of the charts on all the reports for statistics in the MLS. And all of a sudden, people are like, where'd these guys come from? How'd they get to the top so fast?
Right.
And people often say, well, how do you guys manage to do that, get to the top, sell, 100 plus homes a year, plus have time for a family, plus have time for church, plus have time for whatever else.
Yourself.
Yourself, maybe, if you're lucky. So what would you say as far as time management? Because I feel like we accomplish a lot more in one day than most people do. So what would you say is kind of a time management technique or a time management skill that would be useful for real estate agents to get as much done in a day as we do, which is equivalent to a lot of people's 72 hours?
I can sum it up in one word.
Okay.
Vision. Without vision, without a dream, without a goal and a focus, you will just wander and aimlessly drift from here to there, not really accomplishing anything. When someone is passionate about something, when they have vision for something, when they have a goal they want to reach, nothing will stop them. And all of a sudden, wasted days and wasted time goes away because you are reaching after the specific thing. I would say vision. Decide where you want to go. be cognizant of that, and then all of a sudden the universe parts, everything starts to happen, and things that would have drug you down or belabored your time or this or that suddenly became a pleasure because they're getting you further down the road to your goal. And I would say mark that out. Decide, commit, and succeed. Put the vision out there, and everything else will happen. You can get so much more done in so much more less period of time when you know where you're going.
Yeah.
I would say vision.
I love it. Have you ever watched Family Feud?
Once or twice.
Okay, so Family Feud. We're the rest of it, because we're totally almost out of time, but there's a few more questions. One-word answers.
Go ahead.
Okay, we'll see if they're on the board.
Okay, ding ding.
No, I'm not. I want to get through these questions
Go ahead.
I just want to see what your answers are.
I have no idea what these are. Okay.
All right, you ready? Here we go.
Yeah.
All right. Is it easier or harder, do you think, for new agents to get into real estate today?
Without the right tools, it's very difficult.
Yeah.
I would say with the right... Oh, that's not one word.
It's okay. You're good.
Okay,
Keep going. You're good.
One word.
Okay.
The hustle. Real estate hustle.
Okay. Where do you see real estate agents wasting a lot of time right now?
And one word.
You could use short sentence.
Doing what everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
Stop doing what everybody else is doing.
Okay. What are the big changes in real estate right now?
Online. The big changes is the Trulia, the Zillows. They're stepping into an arena that is empowering people who don't have the skill set to accomplish what needs to be done. So online, I would say online right now is a big, big competitor for the real estate world. It's doable. It can be dealt with, but it is a major obstacle in today's world that used to not be there.
What's a huge opportunity that real estate agents are missing out on?
The opportunity to add value.
Yeah.
I think too many times we get so caught up in the commission, the end result, the this, the that we forget to add value, knowledge, experience, pointing things out that need to be dealt with. Not maybe anyway. I think that there's a need for value and someone really going the distance to say, here's why this works and how this can work versus, do you like it?
Yeah.
Adding value, and then again, following up, consistency and following up, making sure that these clients know that you are there. Those things.
Yeah. Awesome. I love it. Guys, that is Travis Greene.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for letting me ask you questions.
Perfect.
My brain is shot. It's
Perfect.
been a long day today.
Yeah, it's
but
good.
Anyway, guys, join us next week, episode 29. Episode 30 is going to be a live webinar, by the way. It's going to be really exciting. We hope you guys will join us on that. A little bit different format, but we're going to have one more show in between. So join us next Wednesday. I just broke your pen, Zach. Sorry. Join us next week at 3 o'clock Mountain Standard Time for episode 29 of The Real Estate Hustle. And we'll be excited to see you guys again next week. Thank you so much for joining us again today. Make sure to subscribe, like, and a big shout out again to our people in Huntsville, Alabama.
Awesome.
And a big shout out to Travis Greene for letting me interrogate him today.
Awesome. So excited. It's a pleasure to do it. Real Estate Hustle. This is your 0 to 60 in less than 3 seconds.
That's right, guys. Break's over. See you next week. I really like your pen, though. I was considering